kind of trial is it?
You could say it's the very reason for our existence? From the moment the Mountain of Eternal Winter embraced us, there existed the stone tablets, These words were engraved upon those tablets. To find where your destiny lies, reach the end of the path of prophecy. Reaching its end shall break the tablet seal and unveil the first prophecy. Gather the prophecies of origin to complete the final prophecy. This monument was made by abets who reached that path's end.
The proof that abets and Okjinshini are one. I also recall seeing another stone tablet with constellations in the cave of the Okjinshini.
Yeah, that's just how they express themselves.
That was quite a mouthful you managed just now. Did our little seed sprout while we were away?
What? A sprout? Come on! Anyway, at first I was so shocked I had a little panic attack. To think they would send 2 people through the Jade Starlight Forest path of prophecy. Does that mean that those Okjinshini wish to speak with us?
They were kind of preoccupied with their own troubles.
We can talk more about that later in the Grand Conference Hall, right? Welcome! This is Ailton.
I've been expecting you. A voice within announced your arrival. Welcome to Ailton. You have crossed through the Jade Starlight Forest path of prophecy, I assume?
Yes, it was also they who defeated the mysterious monstrosity that appeared at Bronte's Bolt.
Are you the chief of Ailton? I have something to tell you.
It can't be. Wait. Lando, please leave us.
No, he needs to hear this. Both here and at the Snowstorm Guard Post. You treated him like a child, but a child still matures without consent.
Aren't those the oak pills we once shared with the Okjinshini? Please, explain to us why you have brought these before us. Wait a minute. They can't be seeking a truce. Not after all the trouble they've caused.
These oak pills have been poisoned.
Are they accusing us of poisoning them? We would never engage in such barbarism.
As it would happen, your Khan spoke much the same. And so, to prove the innocence of the Arbets, he voluntarily chose to take this oak pill himself.
What? Always so trusting, honest to a fault. Why? Why would he commit such a foolish act? It simply doesn't make sense.
The first dear Mara uttered these words. Acknowledge when you are not adept in combat, but seek out friends to fight in your stead.
Of course, that's very wise. We should hire some mercenaries to protect us. Quickly now, let's put out the word to all corners of the continent.
The Snowstorm Guard Post was in such disarray. This explains everything.
Be quiet, all of you! If my father were here, you think he would just hire more mercenaries? What we need to do is get to the root of all this chaos and confusion. Only then can we restore the Mountain of Eternal Winter. Not through mercs, with their lackluster money-grubbing ways, but with our own hands. The Fox Rule has not yet come to a close. That, my friends, is the way of the Khan whose seat still bears his warmth. That, my friends, is the way of life in the Highlands, and every single one of you needs to respect it.
Your father had no choice but to consume that oak pill. Would have laid waste to the village with hate-filled eyes.
Puto has taken the poisoned oak pill to the research lab. Why not take a breather and look around town while we wait for the results?
No. Is there a place that keeps records of visitors in this town? The Oak Jinshini originally suspected the dear abets. Even in a place like this, the enemy could be an outsider. No, under these circumstances, the enemy must be from the outside.
In that case, you can find the city Highland border, home to the Fox Abets, right beside the central market. It is a place that oversees all who cross over from the Highlands to the city, and vice versa.
Then I shall head there first. You should go make yourself useful and look around as well, yes?
The path that I must take is clear. I must find the true enemy that wrought this chaos and ascend the mountain.
Quite often, personal emotions are the main cause of what outsiders call this place the Dragon Museum. Here, you can learn the tales of the ancestors who received the wisdom and blessing of the seventh witch born from Lebreska's first death. For my veins carry the blood. As a descendant of Silver Frond, I sought to atone for his past sins by renouncing the city and settling, even when the other descendants of Silver Frond responded to the great founder's call, abandoning their original settlements and gathering beneath the forbidden Black Mountain. We chose to remain here and guard this place in the Mountain of Eternal Winter as living witnesses to history. Oh, all of these relics were collected by us members of the Dragon Appreciation Society. There's countless dragon relics yet to be found, scattered all over the globe. If you found yourself here, all on your own, then maybe, someday, you may find yourself... The Dragon Lebreska, scourge of all dragonkind. She devoured the hearts of her kin, long into her rule, and with all who would seek to challenge her slain, a flame appeared. And so it was that Lebreska came to possess the god-consuming flame, Yenix. But she underestimated them. They tore from her body all wing and all limb, and wrought it. It was in this pitiful state that Lebreska experienced her first death. But from Lebreska's first death, 7 beings awoke, who, in the village below the mount, came to be known as the 7 Witches of Everfrost. Bronte, Witch of Thunder, she who rends the dragon's wings. Cahel, Witch of Blight. Sethra, Witch of Rifts, she who splits the dragon's scales. Marsh, Witch of Swamps, she who binds the dragon's ankles. And last but not least, Arethia, Witch of Erasia. Lebreska, Keeper of the Golden Mountain, even at the brink of death, bestowed upon us For from her death did these 7 witches arise, who used their mystical powers to protect us. Many moons passed under their protection, but we knew the 7 witches would one day die and herald in an era of misfortune where, while its golden hue is now obfuscated by blanketed snow, may the sun reflecting off its frosty peak be an eternal reminder of Golden Mountain's glory. Sadly, that era of misfortune came sooner than expected. Erethia, the witch of Erasia, fell in love with the human Silver Frond, and in doing so, neglected her sword. The 6 witches recanted the wisdom and blessings they had bestowed upon Silver Frond. Then slew Erethia. The once forgotten fear of dragons resurfaced, suffocating the humans who trembled in fear at this apparent curse wrought by the 6 witches. Play with the flames of love, and you will be burned. Silver Frond made his way to Orzeka, seeking the god that grants all wishes. The god told Silver Frond that he must retrieve the Yinix. So Silver Frond ascended the mountain of eternal winter, only to find Labreska alive, living her second life. There, he learned of the Yinix's true might, that it has the power to consume God. Can fate ever be denied? For just as he had with Erethia, when Silver Frond's eyes fell upon Labreska in that fateful encounter, he and Labreska, who clung to life just barely thanks to the Yinix, found comfort in the low. But then the Knights of Dawn arrived, seeking to bring an end to the God of Wishes. They persuaded Silver Frond, I vow to return, for I know this flame is your life, promised Silver Frond to Labreska as he set off. The 6 witches had no choice but to allow Silver Frond to leave for Orzeka with the Yinix, for the golden dragon Labreska. But no sooner had he left, a deathly winter descended upon the mountain. It seemed that Labreska's second life had, for something dwelt inside her. Something that the Yinix had kept at bay. It felt as though an eternity had passed, but still, Silver Frond had not returned. Eventually, the small sliver of hope she clung to evaporated, and with it, a great calamity befell the mountain of eternal winter. There are no witches to protect us now. It is now up to us to defend ourselves against the dragons, proclaimed the one now known as the Great Founder. I have many more a tale to tell, but the beauty of adventuring is finding them for yourself. Not to mention, there's someone waiting for you outside.
There you are! We should set off for the city Highland border as quick as possible. Our Dark Knight is being questioned as we speak. I even told Customs he was just some random. Who'd have thought they'd be such a sharp bunch? It doesn't help that he straight up told them where he was, always acting all dark and dashing. I can't just stand around. Help me.
Even if we were all born different, we're all one in mind and body. All those wishing to stay here must first pass through me. All those wishing to stay here must first pass—
These are the talented blacksmiths from the Gavinia Great Crater, who have taken on the Highland Bond and been in—
Well, the day and time whence we were born may differ. Here in this place, may we exist as— Here! write down your city-worn name, and take your hill-sworn.
These are master fishers from Drakania who have taken the Highland Bond and been...
Any experience with ice fishing?
That wasn't part of our agreement, but,
Good. Of course it wouldn't be an issue. While the dead here in this place, may we exist as one body and mind together.
Shush! Let's keep that to ourselves.
You're right. Next!
While grateful for your previous offer, we Aker must respectfully decline. We could never imagine existing alongside the Vidir.
I see. Ooh, are you the friend of this liar? I'll conduct a simple test of truth to see...
So many meaningless steps to confirm the comings and goings of one man.
Silence! Don't you dare try to pull a fast one on me. We have no vacancy for liars like you in the Highlands. Especially with how low the public sentiment has become nowadays. I thought the stories of poison oak pills were mere fiction, and yet it's been revealed that the oak pill research labs were robbed.
Are we getting fired?
Before I have to take responsibility and relinquish myself from this position, I shall uncover the truth behind this mysterious interloper. Now, a test that will surely uncover the truth. Any first question? Patrigio's leopard's name is Naru.
No. Patrigio's leopard is named Tuvala. Too easy.
Second question. The symbol of Kelfion is the eagle.
True, though it's certainly a weary old eagle.
Third, Serendia's princess, Jarette, is infamous for her stubbornness.
If your rumor-mongering continues, this will be your final interrogation.
It appears you do speak the truth. Your identity is cleared, so I shall grant you access to the records.
Nothing seems out of place. This entry shows a hill-sworn name, Mahia. But why is the city-worn name black?
Let me see. Ah, that one. Said they lost their memory. Looked a bit ill. Kept muttering some phrase over and over again, right?
Perfect being, perfect being, perfect being. They kept repeating that. That's why the captain took them to the Oak Pill Research Lab.
Perfect being, eh? It wasn't their memory they lost. More like...
So you're not an adventurer, but a detective by trade, hmm? My apologies for the mix-up.
Their handwriting. It looks too erratic, like it was forced. I speak from
Oh! Did you say perfect being? That's the mantra of the Sezek barbarians. I may have... I know this is all super important, but let's go to the Oak Pill Research Lab first.
Would you mind getting me a book about the winter tree from Tabudai? Humans came to despise Silverfrond, but we are... This is the place where he researched methods of transporting the Yenix. To make use of her wisdom, we created the Oak Pill. The poison drawn from the fang of that monster at Snowstorm Guard Post, and the poison in the Oak Pill, are one and the same.
It was the deviant... Our shaman Invish didn't mention seeing such a monster on the path of prophecy either.
Blind faith in prophetic paths is folly. For if all prophecies came to fruition...
Please report these findings to the shaman Invish. This is a new ordeal facing the Mountain of Eternal Winter.
witches smiled, but inside they were weeping. They who had thrown themselves in a pit of why and for what? I cannot see it. Past the what was Arethia trying to tell us?
On the day the Khan entered the woods, the chief of the Oak Jinshini uttered something much the same, for that day was supposed to be a day of celebration.
But the reason why the witch's tablet has remained sealed in separate parts until now is not because we have yet to reach the end of our path of prophecy. No, it's more like this was all part of the grand design from the start in order to...
But don't the stone tablets say that the closer we are to the end of the path of prophecy, the more...
That was probably so we would not forget about the future that she herself was so worried would unfold.
On that day, which was supposed to be a celebration for our bets and Oak Jinshini alike, maybe that explosion awakened the very thing the...
Do you suppose it had anything to do with that strange monster no one had ever seen or heard of?
Ah, during all the chaos that occurred on that day, there were some who took the opportunity to...
I believe they'll be able to enlighten us more on what exactly happened on that day.
Oh, aren't you? Give me a moment. I will hide your dark presence. The marking on your skin...
At the outskirts of the Mountain of Eternal Winter lies a place poor souls barely made it out of Odilita, only to be swindled upon reaching Pilgrim's End.
Wasn't even looking for a good place. I felt wherever there were humans, we could start anew. That inhumane scum.
I don't remember this place being so overrun with scumbags. It's just like with that goblin. He was heading to the citron orchards from Awena's Tale, but...
In Calpheon, there's a saying. Don't blink, or you might lose your nose. The upstanding citizens of Hydael could never imagine such a thing.
Anyway, I've got some meal tickets for some top-quality dishes. Would you be so kind as to hand them out?
These poor souls barely made it out of Odilita, only to be swindled upon reaching Pilgrim's End.
It was swarming with those Sezek barbarians. They seemed to be pretty well organized, to be honest.
Care to share exactly what happened on the day of the Sherakan iron mine explosion?
They made us pile something all day long. But that's what exploded. I'll bet my life.
What did you say just now?
There's a priest the Sezek barbarians call the Perfect Being.
A few of the Sezeks tried to challenge his authority. I got them. They said stuff like, "Perfect being my crusty behind," and that Dayan.
Dayan? I remember seeing him when he was on the run in Drigan. A human winning the favor of all the Sezeks. It's unheard of.
Just as they mentioned in the Oak Pill research labs.
That's enough. He may look all right on the outside, but he's suffering from internal wounds. Moreover, if we aren't able to break those shackles...
I suggest they be moved as far away as possible, at least until their shackles are broken.
Please, you have to protect us. We shall flee to the ends of the earth if we have to.
Hell is found all over. But once my business here in the Mountain of Eternal Winter is done, I shall help you find a place to settle. Stay strong.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I think we should grab some grub before heading out again.
Get a fresh pint of Ailton Ale with a splash of sweet goat's milk.
Once I came to, I realized I was not in Achman, but in History of Ruins.
I told you to seek out the alchemist Karashu at the Sandgrain Bazaar.
I have a more interesting tale to share with you. Say, don't suppose you know the true identity of Deboreka?
Somewhere people the world over can gather.
Greetings. If you've come to eat, I need to see your meal ticket.
Meal ticket?
Huh? What? The meal ticket? My meal ticket! My meal ticket!
Sorry. I had so many tickets and...
Such a strong voice from such a small body. No meal ticket, huh? I can still offer you a chance to taste my cooking. That is, only if you... Recently, some adventurer crossed over from Balanos and taught me this game called Yar. Just one match, and if you win, I'll feed you myself. Otherwise...
Yar? Hey!
Secret of my cooking. Well, I never bother weighing ingredients. It's almost done, so why not take a look around while you wait? What do you think? It's rather... The folk here may all look ordinary, but over... And that one, the greatest farmer in all of Ilya Island.
I can smell the egotism wafting off of you like aromatics. But I'll...
Your nose is not wrong, for I am the cooking guru of Dragan.
It appears our journey together is almost at its end. We've already reached the trial of the... I thought it'd be a quiet trek to retrieve the Yenix, but we've practically worn holes in our boots. The conflict between the Oak Jinshini and the Arbets. We've suspected Dayan of being the mastermind, and yet, as the Oak Jinshini chief mentioned earlier, he lit only the spark. The sooner the Yenix resting in the haven of slumbering origin is extinguished, the quicker all this strange phenomena will end.
If we succeed, I suppose you'll be hailed as a hero in these parts as well. Look at that fox, living only for today. I hope we can find his brother. It's been some time since I've seen a place so filled with human aroma. What will I do once I've erased the burden of this mark? Once this journey ends, I shall disappear to a corner of Balanos unbeknownst to all. Together with Jarrett, I wish to work the lands there. Some children, perhaps. 3 is a good number. 2 sons and a daughter. If the children take after their mother, it would be quite the lively household.
The 5th witch is Sethra, the witch of the eye that climbed out of hell's depths hungers. Only the infinite life force...
Seek out Gonzarig in the Highlands, and if you need my aid...
You aided us at Bronte's boat, and now we are...
No. We are the ones indebted to the 2 of you, even though one of the totems has been destroyed, and all have been evacuated due to the Dreadwinter trees taking...
Dreadwinter trees have been sighted there as well? You should go on ahead. I need to have a word with Tabudai.
I'll go speak with my fleeing fox squad and let them know that even the Oak Jinshini are crying foul of...
must not let a single day go by without an offering. The Zavir Highlands were abandoned by humans early on, so it was quite easy for us to settle down. Gaining the wisdom of Sethra, the Witch of Rifts, did not come without its... Let my veins spread like spiderwebs beneath the Highlands. Those humans offered as living sacrifices to the witch didn't last for long, and upon the witch's demise, the settlement was quickly abandoned by the... We made their former first settlement into one of our own, and up until quite recently, had maintained it as such. We did so for the sake of the hawk and leopard abets, who had gone beyond the mountain of eternal winter long ago, but this too was their home. As we tended the land, we often left out some meat they enjoyed. Though they would never again return, wild animals would frequent our settlement and eat to their heart's content. Seeing this gave us some small relief, knowing the hawk and leopard abets would have some sanctuary to return to, at least before the leopard totem was destroyed. It absorbed the life energy of the creatures that gathered around each totem. However, when the totem was destroyed, the abets guarding the remaining ones retreated, for none quite knew what threat the lurking danger...
The eye that climbed out of hell's depths hungers. Only by returning the creatures to the highlands can we overcome the witch's trial.
When I was young, there was a fierce typhoon that nearly blew away all the settlements in the highlands. Back then, I helped rebuild the highlands, alongside...
But the highlands are a dangerous place now. You and Lando should work on restoring the settlements, while I keep an eye on the Dreadwinter tree rooted in the...
I'll go check on the other settlements. Go check the Hawk-Abet settlement.
Although not always claimed by our kinfolk, the hawks and the black leopards, we scatter food on the ground for starving animals to feast on. Until the day our kinfolk, the hawks and the black leopards, return, we must protect the The name Zavir Highlands means the land of Europe. We perform the cleansing. The name Zavir Highlands means the name Zavir Highlands means the...
Wherever you go, I will go.
It's in better condition than I thought. When I went... Now you've got to hunt. We need to attract hawks. Snowfield Illy Pikas or Snowfield Markors will do. Here, use this matchlock. Where'd I get the matchlock? Get moving. If you keep making excuses to slack off, I'll tell... Huh? What do you mean?
Feels like I'm flying.
Fox will fly in soon enough. About the matchlock? My secret? When I had no idea that my father was Khan, my dream was to be a... just because it seemed cool to help people by carrying all kinds of things. But my little brother's dream was to become like Muhad. He said that with his white fur, he'd be good at camouflage. He only chuckled when I asked him what he was thinking. But that's why I made him these mountaineer clothes. Oh, look over there! They're finally here! Whoa, they're really... Next up is the home of the Dirabets. Gonzarig restored the whole place All we need to do is attract the herbivores. There's a tip that Father taught me. The winter flowers on their backs give off a very pungent smell. They used to only inhabit the mountain of eternal winter. You know, these things are worth asking while hunting. I rubbed off on you? Luckily, I've got some friends.
Do I look upbeat today? Just your imagination.
Look at me and my connections coming through again.
We're here from Moslim's Euless Citron Orchard to help. I'm so very excited.
I could kind of start understanding my little brother's behavior. The wise Invish told us that we all take different paths. I realize now that my little brother was always walking along. The path my little brother took was surely... Since we cannot climb the mountain...
Oh, they're gathering! Wow! We're leaving now. Lando, don't forget your promise.
So maybe I said something about offering to promote them. Sure. By the way, where is our... I'll go find him and teach him a lesson. Yeah. This might require a bit of, muscle power. That's why I gave you... Chopping trees is too...
Until the day our kinfolk, until the day our kin... I see. If you return to the fox... return to the Fox of...
Feels like I'm flying.
Oh, look at it! Completely restored! But as I think they're already here! Oh, quick! This feels good, doesn't it? If they're brave enough to venture out, why is it so hard for me to... I lied to my little brother. I couldn't bear to tell him no. Actually, I thought that he'd give up if he left only a letter stamped with his paw that said that he...
You are still very chatty. You can traverse the sea, the desert. Your fear comes from the fact that you haven't experienced it yourself. And not the source of your fear comes from words passed down. Have you seen any that prove those words to be true? If you've resolved to climb the mountain, then I will accompany you. I saw the incense rising from 3 of Sethra's vases of living souls. Something in ruin cannot be restored. Not to mention the Dreadwinter tree.
Then... we're just borrowing the wind.
Has the world gone mad? Well done. Now, let's go see the last vase of living souls.
What was that? means
There's that same foul smell that the monster at Bronte's boat.
could it be that there's a path to their burrow underneath?
Let's go meet Ganzorig and send word by Hawk. We have to keep moving forward. Trying to fix a problem every time one rears its... You must seek out the root of the problem.
All right, let's go meet Ganzorig.
Let us also see to Sethra's vase of living souls.
There, there, good bird. By Windknow's grace, please spread word. There is grave danger in the Highlands. Thank you. We welcome you as one of our own.
If I find kinship among the Highland people, will I find salvation from the mess that I'm in?
Look, all of the vases of living souls are breathing.
I can't believe we're already at the final The sixth witch is Kahel, the Witch of Distortion. The mouth that can devour the dark. So it was locked away in a dark. The warrior of winter seeking to overcome if the mouth cannot be found of...
Locked up in a dark...
It's probably referring to the Forbidden Black Mountain.
Ganzorig, how do you know all that when you only stay within the...
Great wings can carry the hawk abets great, and with this power, they can surmount the mountain. And deer abets are friendly and inviting. The abets aren't the only ones who've come to...
I didn't know fox abats were good at... No. So...
Oh, you're right!
I anticipated you'd forget. I will find a way to get inside the den of the barbarians.
Lando, as a representative of the abets, has to offer prayers of gratitude. Though the Khan is absent, it's still fox rule.
I will be done in a jiffy. So...
Wherever you go, I will go.
I'm building a tower.
If I'd sent him alone, I imagine it would have taken some time. With you around, things seemed... Then, let's see. This is Gardaka's code. Was there nothing else? I see. This is why Mother... In secrecy, she loved her twin.
Your Majesty.
Tui, what else was on my schedule for...
You're scheduled to make a visit.
The owner of the Euless Orchard is your run-of-the-mill abbess. I'll surely draw the eyes of the pop...
Your Majesty, it's a risk you must take.
Indeed. I've had quite a...
Yes. This is Valerito's token of promise. From the first head of the Sezek, when rescuing the Sezek barbarians who all nearly froze to death when ascending...
The barbarians. They were headed to the Sherikon iron mine.
That token was given to him as the promise of an unconditional invitation. Once...
Then it would have been a precarious situation to manage. He should use it wisely. A leader must keep his... Oh, I don't mean to equate the barbarians to Elton, but I was a bit... He's a poor old beggar.
Totally meant to meet up with you right away, but the sky got all dark like it was going to rain, and when I... Whoosh! Our emotional cactus was bareback on a baby black dragon, headed toward the abandoned iron. I took off after him as soon as I spotted him, but he was way too fast. No small feat against an ex-member of the fleeing
Are you the one? Hello. I am Kaspara, the chief priestess at the Shrine of Silent I was speaking of the history of these lands, as I usually do, to the people when a man asked why barbarians were gathered at the abandoned iron mine.
You heard what the priestess said, right? Oh, Grumpy's not expecting to just rush in and be greeted by... Huh? What is this? Oh, how great it is to be Prince! But Huh? Where is everyone?
Come, everyone! Look at this guy, full of gusto!
What the heck? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is the reaction we were hoping for from this guy.
This should be easy. You, where is Dayan, the one called a perfect being?
What are you doing here? Get the hell out of my sight before I toss you into the... Ha! What an entrance! The brave-faced ones secretly quivering in their boots. Hey, how about we play the part of wealthy Kelpion Nook?
I won't take any...
Is this a normal conversation?
Okay. Dayan, that little bastard deserves to be sold to the Ahibs and then to the Gargoyle. The first head, Valerito, came here to find Markthon about 100 years ago. We promised him wings in return for the land of the Sherikon's descendants. And just like that, for 100 years, we built the
Barbarians Tower? Did you name it that because you're barbarians? Look, you should know, most people use the term barbarian as...
Shut your maw or I will shred it to pieces! That tower was the only source of power, that could lift the curse.
The witch's curse? Hell, it might have something to do with the mouth we're looking for.
Right. We have no idea what it's called, but it sure is a terrifying mouth. But the bugs that poured out from that mouth devoured Marthanon's body whole. But the taller the tower, the closer we were to liberation. We needed someone to keep
And that person was Dayan.
Yes. He came to us on his own, saying he respected Marthanon.
He must have appeared as Providence for those of you seeking to shed yourself of the barbarian vestments.
That bastard up to no gooder. He blew up the...
How come? It was an opportunity to awaken Marthanon again. Could it be because...
No. The barbarian's tower is not something that can be blown up by a mere human. What do I care? He's long gone.
So basically we've reached a dead end. Dayan is gone. This is where the tower of pure black stones exploded. Who knows what changes that might...
What? You're leaving just like that? Hey there! How about something for my time? What? You're leaving just like that? What? You're leaving just like that? What? You're leaving just like that?
I have but one goal. I'd have an easier time, folks. I'm a scientist, not a cutlery repairman. I'm a scientist, not a cut... When I see a machine, I can replicate it perfectly in my head. Like a drawing. When I see a...
I don't think that barbarian Alvaro is in the best of moods.
They daren't give chase so long as my companions beside us. Let us return to Duvenkroon. Back on the previous trials, we may find a clue within the records of the humans who once... This is the land of the Sherikans, ancestors of Driga. They've probably some ancient story that can help unravel this mystery.
How about heading to the Black Lake encampment instead of Duvenkroon? Wait. The people over there.
They bear the same shackles as the people from the inn in Ailton. They might be those who are unable to escape.
You're from Ailton, right? Thank goodness. You've come to rescue us, right?
Yes. The village ruled by a wise white fox.
I'm truly sorry, but we're in the middle of the den of the barbarians. We never promised such a thing.
But...
We can't save everyone, though your heart may be racked with pain and pity.
I understand, and please, I ask only one thing. I drew a map in secret so that I might flee this place.
A map that would take us through this mine while avoiding the eyes of the barbarians. Please, just retrieve that map for me. We'll deal with the rest.
You just need to steal the key from their chief priest. Actually, these barbarians,
Alright. You get your mitts on that key. I noticed they like swaying to funky rhythms, so I'll teach them how it's done.
That sly...
They don't even budge a little when we whistle loudly. See what I mean?
When I grow up,
What? If it's a fight you're after, I'll take you. What's the matter, huh? Lost your nerve?
return home one day, I would like to write about our adventure.
A nightmare did accost me that night.
This is how you get down with your bad self. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is how you get... Call me if you need help. I am a fairy. Sometimes me. Why is the box so big?
Let's deal with this quickly and go. We won't be able to destroy...
Where's this...
that...
Thought you were too clever for
I'm so sorry we deceived.
I didn't think you cowards had...
Damn it. My body.
You're in the barbarian's den. Did you really think that you look like you've got what it takes? Oh, and let's toss in that giddy fox, is it? Well, good luck surviving in the Murrowack Labyrinth. Unfortunately for you.
You're late. I brought the fox, despite my better judgment.
How could you say that? Anyway, it's good to see you again.
It seems your stature and your conscience...
I was absolutely certain this is the way out, but why is it blocked? Guys, it's definitely the exit. I can smell it.
Mark-Thanon?
It's a dragon! They've arrived. What do you think, Mark-Thanon? They are the ones who will give you a new lease on life. We've been awaiting your arrival for some time. Mark-Thanon belongs to me.
You're not human. What are you?
I am the
What are you doing here?
I was offering my aid to the dying Mark-Thanon, just as what poor souls. Labres, the humans who were taught their wisdom and became dragon slayers after... Oh, it seems like you still have some energy. She would gather all the strength she could muster to resist my wisdom. But where in the world did she get such strength? It is indeed...
Were you the one who poisoned the oak pit?
It's been some time since I bought this land. Seems untouched by time. It's just too... So I gave it some serious consideration. Towers flooded with magical power, and a sealed... Imagine the flame I've been longing to find. Anyway, seals are meant to be broken.
That's why you blew up the barbarian's tower. The overflowing magical energy. The poison.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely right. I kind of like you. Please, no trying to cut the line. Pick one who will be left behind. If you can't come to a consensus, all of...
Pick one, he said. Wake up. Completely passed out. All right. This moment's come faster than anticipated. Did you think us working together made us comrades? Laughable. Did you completely forget the nature of our relationship? And worse, did you completely forget how you ruined my life? Would purging this mark truly cleanse my soul? Impossible. Calpheon will always be the schism that divides us. I believe you will have to be the sacrifice for my trial. I have no such thing as comrades. It has always been, and will continue to be that way! Only once you cease to exist, can I be free.
Hey, what you guys doing over there? Hmm? Whoa, my noggin. I was abandoned here. All all alone beneath this. And the two of you are doing gods know what. What's with that fighting stance? And why is the scary one kneeling?
If your life is at stake, I shall let myself be bound. And yet I beseech you, at least let your feeling... If your life is at stake...
There is no bliss-filled future for the two of us. George was simply bait to beguile you.
If your life is at stake, I shall let myself be...
What's going on here? Well, okay, hear me out then. They say Sir Roy Mills gave this to me over at Awena's Tale. It said he completely forgot about it. Some perfume handcrafted by Princess Jarette herself.
The scent from that early morn. That was but an illusion of Dayan? Fie.
My father always said, saying I love you is like making a wish to witness a falling star, while at the same moment, he said if that ever occurred, you best stick with each other for the rest of your life.
Regardless, I extend my thanks. I guess you can be useful.
I swear I just forgot about it. But you can bet I won't forget.
My deepest doubts came to life, you said. What illusion did you...